Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading of today, a Tuesday, here at MadWorldTarot. And I have the Urban Tarot on the tarot table for this reading. And this reading is inspired by a comment that Tom Bauer made to OK Magazine. And he says that Harry and Meghan know they went too far with the royal bashing. That's according to Tom Bauer. He said, that is why Meghan Markle has been so quiet the whole year. She knows they've probably gone too far, and she doesn't know how to get out of it now. What is fascinating is how it will end. What will the climax be? And I think a lot of us want to know what the climax will be at this point, because we all get the sense that they have gone too far. It doesn't take a genius to realize that they're losing deals all over the place. Spotify, Netflix. We haven't heard much about the Chimpo thing. Meghan is trying to put out these PR puff pieces about deals that she's making, film roles and all that nonsense. Nothing ever comes of them. There was the Dior story, smacked down by Dior very quickly, Cartier as well. Then we had the silly story about the bodyguard. And in the readings that I'm doing have been doing recently on Meghan Markle, I'm starting to get panic. There's the vibe of Nine of Swords, panic. In the energy, the card literally showing up. So I want to know, I'm going to do a Celtic cross with the Urban Tarot and see whether she is in a panic about things, whether she can turn this around, or what the end will be, what the climax of this drama will be. Are we there yet? In that sense, but from her point of view, how's she feeling right now? Just generally, does she regret the way she went after the royals and went out swinging at them, and Oprah and wherever else she went swinging, the cut and all the rest of them? How does she perceive her situation? How does she perceive the trouble she's in? What's going on behind the scenes? How does she view the past now? What will she be doing next? Does she have regrets? What pressure she's under? And then where are we heading with the climax? Where are we going? Strength card just flew out. That's the Harry and Meghan card. Let's shuffle it back in, give it a chance to come back if it wants to. It seems to need to be cycled around. And so that's what we're doing with this this reading, this Celtic cross. Let's remind you, as I lay the cards out, it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all opinion, my opinion. It's all speculation. I read energy here, archetypal energy, because I'm dealing with the archetypal family, the royal family. Disclaimer in the box below. Let's see. It's going to be hard to fit these cards. I'm going to have to scooch them and slide them because they're very long cards. The Urban Tarot, long, skinny cards. Let us see. We have got the Page of Swords in reverse here. It's called the Prince of Swords. Page of Swords will do. The Hacker, it's called. It's a very modern tarot deck, uses modern kind of archetypes rather than a traditional Rider-Waite tarot. Sometimes they're informative, sometimes they're not. Hacker in reverse is interesting because I'm not accusing anyone of being a hacker. Just by the way, we have a sidekick of Madame's who's just been suspended. And again, I'm not accusing anyone of being a hacker, but that particular sidekick has suddenly been silenced rather abruptly, rather swiftly. And it's as if in the level of social media and the bots, the alleged bots and things that go, and all of that, there is something going on that it might be leading to some kind of demise. Interesting energy there. We've got a lot of the Page of Swords in reverse is traditionally, or has not traditionally, but has in modern usage acquired the meaning of spying, snooping around on social media. looking at comments, looking to see what people are doing, following them, trolling, lurking, that kind of thing, shadowing people really. But it's interesting to me because it's almost like being exposed. That kind of behavior, that there might be stuff around on social media and things like that that might come out, or is being discussed, might come out, might lead to some sort of revelation, some sort of exposure. There is a situation going on in the UK right now as I'm doing this reading with a BBC presenter, and all kinds of speculation, very carefully hidden mostly on social media, but you can read behind the lines and follow the trails and get to the truth if you want to. And it's a similar kind of a vibe here with that card. And again, I'm not accusing any particular person of literally being a hacker, but it's that energy of just being busy on social media, but in a negative way, using it in a quite a toxic way. So the actual situation that Megan finds herself right now, the gone too far situation, where are we with that? We're with the Hermit in reverse. That's Harry's energy. He's blaming Harry. And we've seen this, that's the Virgo Major Arcana, that is Harry, that is somebody who's been misguided, deluded, who has not followed their own truth, their own inner wisdom, has been led astray. Also, the Hermit, the Hermit in reverse is someone who has taken bad advice, followed people who he shouldn't have followed, or she shouldn't have followed. But my basic view of that card is blame it on Harry. It's Harry who went too far. And we've seen PR pieces coming out saying it's all Harry's fault, and if Meghan is going to save her brand, then the only way to do it is to separate herself from Harry and go it alone, because she herself is so desirable and popular and has so much earning potential and all this rot that we all know is not true. Kinsey Schofield just said that Meghan is on everybody's no hire list right now. Her brand is absolutely toxic. But still, Hermit in reverse, blame it on Harry. So let's see what in particular is her problem right now. We're looking at Meghan here. We got the Page of Discs, the day trader. It is in its modern guise. The Page of Pentacles in old-fashioned tarot is deals and contracts and negotiations. And her problem is, where are those deals? It's another Harry card, just by the way, because the Page of Discs is an earth sign, so it can be Harry. But it's a very Harry and a junior and a kind of an infantile energy. That if she could say, you see, he's behaved like an infant, he's been childish and petulant, and now what am I going to do? I'm the grown-up in this relationship. I was going to say I'm the older woman in this relationship. Anyway, the Page of Discs is deals. Where are the deals? She's been talking up the deals and all the potential that she has, but no proof of them, no sign of them so far. What's going on behind the scenes? Is she in a panic right now, frantically trying to get things going? I've got the Two of Wands in reverse here. She doesn't have a plan. She is a woman without a plan right now. And I think that's unusual for Meghan Markle. I think she's very strategic. I think she plans 10 steps ahead. Your average mortal lurches from a moment to moment in their lives. Might have a vague idea of goals and where they want to be, but they're not strategic. The vast majority of people just live their lives, have an idea. I want this, I want that, but not micromanaging every minute, every second. I need to meet this person, I need that deal, and then I need that, and on I go. She seems to have lived her life in a very strategic way. And now, with the Two of Wands in reverse, she does not have a plan, and she doesn't have an ally. She doesn't have anybody by her side that can help her to get where she wants to go. And we know that thus far in her life, she has used men. And I won't have to say allegedly, or in my opinion, because she has used men. First of all, Daddy. Daddy paid for all kinds of things for her. Then Trevor. Then various other boyfriends. Then Harry. So she's up the creek without a paddle, a canoe or a paddle or whatever the saying is. I sound like George Bush now. Been a long day. But there you go. She's in trouble. She's in trouble because she doesn't have a plan. Definitely. And for someone like her, I think this is panic stations. What is her focus? And her focus right now is the 6 of Swords in reverse. Signs, I've always found that quite strange. But anyway, it is a medical kind of a sign. So yeah, I can see it's medicine and science, but not when we're dealing with the royals and stuff like that. So ignore the science keyword at the bottom there. 6 of Swords in reverse. Her focus is on, do I have to go back? That's the first thing. What am I going to do? Am I going to have to go back across the water, back to Blighty, back to the UK? I burned that bridge. I burned that good bridge, good and proper. And there really isn't a way back. Lots of talk now that Harry and Meghan are trying to inveigle their way back into the good graces of the royal family, or try and squeeze their way back somehow. Slink their way back to the UK and back into the safety and the comfort of the royal family with all its wealth and its castles and palaces and spare cottages here, there and everywhere. I've done reading on it recently. I saw Harry might be inclined to head back to the UK in quite an egotistical energy. That was how I saw it. I saw Meghan as an absolutely no energy, but she might be desperate enough at this point, because energy is moving, it's swirling pretty quickly around the park holes at this point. She might be desperate enough to think she might have to go back. The 6 of Swords is, of course, overseas travel. They left, they exited. Now what? Made a huge mess of the whole thing. Do they really have to go back? So that's the one thing. That's literally international travel, going back. Other thing is there any way out of this situation, this mess, this gone too far mess, or have I really gone too far and there is no way out of it? And that's a more obvious energy for the 6 of Swords in reverse. And for sure that is on her mind for me as a tarot reader. That's how I'm reading that card. But there is a potential in that card for her to actually consider going back to the UK as a last resort if things really get tough for her, more tough than they already are. How does she view the past now? Does she look back at the past? How does she look back at the past? What does she feel when she sees it? Oh, so much possibility. She went there thinking this was just going to be brilliant. Parties, awards, red carpets, designer gear. She was going to be dressed in Dior every day, all day, drinking, spas, facials, every pampered with all the A+ celebrities, Jennifer Aniston, Julia Roberts, Reese Witherspoon, whoever. That's how she saw it, how she thought it was going to be. And she has tried to manifest that, but without any noticeable success at this point. What's next for her? What is she going to do, try? What are we going to hear in terms of this? Or is she a lost cause? Is it too late, basically, for her now? We got the 7 of Cups. So ignore the debauch down at the bottom. No, not there yet. She might take to some drinking. Allegedly, it is a feature of her life already, according to quite a few people. Is inclined to take to the bottle. But it's more the sense of delusion. She's still deluded about what's really going on in her life. She's still going to be sending out these ridiculous puff pieces of film roles she might be getting, or brand endorsements that she might be getting, or people that might, celebrities that might do deals with her. We've seen it. It's the drunk dialing kind of an energy that I got yesterday. that some of these stories that are coming out might be cooked up in the middle of the night when maybe not as focused and as clear-headed as she might like to be or should be before sending out these messages. That's the idea that I'm getting, that a Hotmail account might be doing some work in the middle of the night, trying to manifest things, but deluded about what is still possible. Neptunian energy, Neptune rules drink and drugs, intoxication, delusion, all of those things, self-deception. So she's not ready to face the truth just yet. Is she regretful? How does she feel? Her attitude to the situation, this gone too far thing that Tom Bauer is talking about, wherever he got that notion from. Does she feel it? Is she regretful right now? Queen of Swords. That's not a regret card. That's a damn you all kind of a card. I'm tough. I'm going to brazen it out. I'm smarter than you are. I'm cleverer than you are. I'm tougher than you all are. The Queen of Swords is not somebody who's not for the faint. She's not for the faint-hearted. She's very strategic. Very talking about plans down here. She's very cold and ruthless and calculating. Not in a negative way necessarily when she's upright like that. She just, she's not emotional. She's not going to collapse in a heap because times have got tough now. She's going to say, well, I can brazen it out. I've been through tough times before, and this is going to bring out the best in me, and I'm going to just really be as insightful and decisive and strategic as I possibly can, and make my way through it. I also get a secondary energy from that card of they deserved it. It's the late Queen is in that energy. She was a Queen of Swords herself. Came through with that energy quite often, and this idea of, well, they all deserved it. They were nasty, they were cold, they were mean to me, they didn't let me modernize the royal family, they didn't praise me, they didn't hand the right tiara to me, they didn't hand everything else to me on a plate, they didn't let me stay in Windsor Castle. They deserve it. So I don't get regret here, not in the sense that a normal person might experience regret. A normal person by now would be in psychiatric care, and I'm being snarky, but to have suffered the humiliation, the rejection, the rebuffs, the fails that Meghan has suffered, a normal person would never show their face in public again. But anyway, that's just my opinion, of course, as a tarot reader. So what pressure is she under right now? These failed deals and stuff. Well, what in particular? 10 of Cups, and that is to maintain this illusion of everything's great and the marriage is great and we're a perfect family. It's a parade. It's a different kind of a parade, but we saw them at a parade over the weekend, 4th of July parade, pretending. And a lot of people went to a lot of trouble to prove it was all photoshopped, and there were doubles and fakes and this thing and that thing and borrowed children and whatever. And whatever the reality of the situation, and I really don't know. I'm not that interested in trying to know at this point. What is more interesting to me at this point is the fact that they're trying so hard to maintain this illusion that everything is great in Montecito, and there is still a nuclear family, they're still together, although that holding hands thing that we heard about, you didn't actually see the hands, you didn't see them looking at each other, you didn't see them talking to each other, you didn't see them leaving in the same car together. You were led to believe with sort of tricks and sleights of hand that they left together, but you never actually saw it. And so that's what we're dealing with the 10 of Cups. Don't believe the evidence of your own eyes, because there's a whole lot of bluff going on here that she's spending a lot of time and effort really trying to convince us of at this point. Her hopes and fears right now for this Knight of Cups, she's almost hoping that someone will come along and rescue her. Quite funny. Who's going to come along and rescue her now? Maybe that will be the climax, the outcome of this thing. But she's hoping for a rescue. a tall dark stranger, meet in a bar. Someone will charm her, seduce her. She can sail away with, shall we say, because it's very romantic, it's very charming, it's very love at first sight-y kind of thing, or whatever at first sight. Escapism. She wants to run away. I've seen Harry wants to run away to Africa. I haven't bothered to read on that latest Africa story because I got Africa constantly, reading after reading. But she also wants to run away with a tall dark stranger. Not too dark, but just someone not that rotten has been, that useless has been, new, someone new. Someone who sweeps her off her feet and makes her forget all her troubles. A 7 of Cups there. Maybe a bit of debauch after all. But I hope the machine doesn't pick up that word. I forgot. I should have probably blacked it out. Anyway, let's see. Tom Bauer wants to know, what will the climax be? We all want to know, what will the climax be? What will the climax be of this crisis, this panic, this moment in history where things, ooh. Yeah, and now you can look at the keyword and you can agree with that one. 10 of Swords. Ooh. Ruin. Ooh. And as you know, I'm not a fan of her. Not a fan of hers, but I'm an intuitive. I feel it. I feel it when I see it. And I feel it. And so it's coming. It's coming. She might go off the rails a little bit there with that 7 of Cups. In the sense of go off the rails, my very inexpert. I'm not diagnosing or predicting in that sense, but just speculating that she might hit the bottle a bit as things get worse and worse, and we might get stranger and stranger stories that come out. But there it is. There is a downfall there. 10 of Swords. There is a downfall. It's going to be noticed. It's going to be seen. It's going to be public. That is the end. 10 is literally the end. And so there is, and the dog is starting to howl, starting to agree with me. And that on that husky note, we are going to call it quits today. And thanks for watching. And I will hopefully see you again tomorrow.